Hey there, we have made it to session 10, and session 10 is our last content session for Unit 2. So we are discussing sex and gender this week for session 10, and that takes us to chapter 11 in your text, and you will complete quizzes 11.1 through 11.7 and the chapter 11 quiz as you are in that Pearson-Revel text reading and doing quizzes. So I will bring up the image that is on the screen only because there is a piece of chapter 11 that discusses gender inequality. And this is an image of something I would say is pretty common in the United States. We see 4 small images here. So we've got, for example, a dad at the park with their kid, and somebody seeing a dad at the park with the kid and going, "Oh, such a good dad hanging out at the park." Then the other picture shows the mom pushing the kid in the swing, and nobody thinks twice about that. That caption says run-of-the-mill mom. So same thing with the bottom right image, the dad coming in with fast food. Oh, he's the fun dad. And the mom coming in with the fast food. Oh, she's the lazy mom because she's not cooking. I will tell you, in my household, when dad takes the kids for fast food, he is absolutely the fun dad because mom does not do that. So, but those are just examples, just to kind of get you started about gender and how we treat genders differently, not only in our country, but around the globe. There is a lot of global aspect to this particular chapter on how we treat women and how we treat men all around the globe. The most important thing that I would like to draw your attention to is the fact that this chapter is entitled Sex and Gender, and in sociology, we look at those terms as very different. So there certainly is room for discussion there, but in sociology, we say that sex is biological characteristics that distinguish females from males. And those biological characteristics are primary and secondary sex characteristics. So sex organs would be a biological characteristic that distinguishes a male from a female. Gender, on the other hand, is in sociology behaviors and attitudes that a particular society considers proper for the males or for the females. And so we separate them because you will see as you dive into chapter 11 that there are roles that certain genders play that can be very different across the globe. So there is a section called Sex Typing of Work, and that takes a deep dive there as well. So there are certain roles that different cultures around the globe expect women to fill and expect men to fill. And so that's kind of where that gender term comes from. And as you dive into this text, you will see certainly inequalities that exist when we do divide between men and women, but you will also see aspects of different countries around the world and how they treat men versus women, or things that they require of their men or their women. So this is a very global chapter when we are looking at sex and gender. And then there is a piece that specifically discusses gender inequality in the United States. And there is lots of data as well. Specific data that you might find interesting is information about college enrollment as it pertains to sex and gender of college students in the United States. All right. Once you are finished with doing the chapter 11 work inside of Revel, you are going to complete the Treating Genders Differently journal. And this is going to be back to the norm here. So you're going to watch the crash course video on gender stratification. And remember, stratification is how we level or label and separate different people. All right, so after you are going to kind of give me some reflection. So remember, these journal assignments are reflection assignments, and I am asking you to kind of take a step back and look at your family unit. So what were some stereotypical notions of gender that you were taught within your family unit, or you're still taught if you're still living inside of your family of procreation family unit? So stereotypical meaning what we would say would be traditional gender roles. All right, so that's what I'm asking you to kind of take a step back and give me some of those typical traditional gender roles that you were taught or that you are still being taught. And then the next question is going to ask you to identify some characteristics that can be viewed as positive for one gender but negative within another. So this would be something like maybe we encourage our boys to play football, but we do not encourage our girls to play football. So we may think of a male child playing football as a strong, powerful leadership going into playing football, but we may think about those qualities as not being positive for our daughters to go in and play that sport. So that is just an example. And then I'm asking you to ponder, why do you think those types of conflicting views exist? Why is it okay for one gender of person to do something and another not? And that, again, there is no right or wrong answer to that. It's just kind of getting you thinking about why our society chooses to treat genders differently. And certainly, the next question is going to ask you about the benefits. Is there a benefit to treating different genders differently? And you can go both sides on that, because there are pieces of evidence that I have seen students produce that say, yes, there is a benefit and here is why. But on the other side, well, here is a negative of treating gender differently. And so I just want to reiterate to you that these are not right or wrong answers, but these are just questions to start making you ponder why society does what they do. So remember, in sociology, we are not looking for right or wrong. We are just looking for a why. We are looking to understand why people do what they do. I hope that you're good to go by now, but remember, you're going to copy what's in between the dotted lines. You're going to paste that into your journal entry box, and your specific paragraphs that you write need to be changed to a different colored font before you hit that blue Save Changes button. After you get finished with that journal entry, you are done with session 10, focusing on sex and gender. As always, if you need me, send me an email. If I don't hear from you, I'm going to assume that everything is great and you are good to go. Have a great day.